Greetings, good people. Welcome back to another edition of Leaders and Learners, where we all know that the best leaders are lifetime learners. And we are having another special edition for you for all the great folks that are going to be participating in Dojo 32 out in Vegas. Girls flag football is doing it big, and we are hosting the athletes, the coaches, and all of those participating in this amazing event. Now, listen here. In 1996, he missed the U.S. Olympic team by 1/10 of a second, by 1/10. So he went and ran for Liberia at the 2000 games instead. He clocked a 10:6,900 meters and set national records. Yes, he set a record. So he didn't make it for the US, he did it for Nigeria, and now he's an Olympian. Today, that said Olympian, Andrew Reyes teaches flag football players how to move, cut, and stay healthy using the same movement and science that built him. The flag football game, it hits the Olympics in 2028. He's already been there, and he might be back. Let's get into it. Let's see how he controls the narrative. Welcome, my new Olympian friend.
Yes, how you doing? My name is Andrew Reyes, the Olympian.
I love this. I love this story. I love this. I couldn't do it the way I wanted to. I'm gonna go ahead and backdoor this and make it happen. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, back in the day, in '84, I was at home watching the track and field, the Olympics. Actually, the torch went right by my house. So, sat there, watched the torch, sat in my living room, looked at my mom and my grandmother, and said, one day, I want to make an Olympic team. And being a child, the youngest of 18 kids, 16 girls, 2 boys. Unfortunately, my birth mother died having me, and I was adopted from a country in Africa, which is Liberia. Came to the U.S., and I decided I want to go to the Olympics and do something for my country, do something for people and kids to look up to. So I tried out for track in high school, made it to state. Then from state, I went to college, won NCAA from college, signed with Nike, 96, and missed the Olympics by a tenth of a second. Then I ended up still going to college in Abilene Christian in Texas and captured my NCAA championship titles from there. Liberia contacted me, asked me if I'd be interested in representing Liberia. I looked at them and said, of course. Then 99, I went to the World Championships in Spain. Then in Sydney Olympics came about, I represent Liberia running. Learned a lot of techniques from a lot of people, a lot of coaches, was trained by Olympians and gold medalists. And now I decide to create a business and showing people how to get faster.
Hmm. And that's the only thing you focus on, just speed.
I focus on speed and recovery. So help people
Mm.
get back into the game after they're injured or have soreness, they have tightness, muscle strain. I basically use the Olympic concept for everyday people and athletes. So that's why it's called Olympic recovery.
I love that. So you ran a 10.69 100 meters and you hold Liberian national records. Yeah.
Yes, I hold in the record for Liberia relay team. Actually, my 100-meter time is also 10.3. I was ranked in the United States top 10 100 meters in USA. So if you go to USA Track and Field website for 2000, I am ranked in the United States, also ranked in the world of that time.
Oh, you're kind of fancy with all these titles and records. I like.
Thank you.
So when young kids have the opportunity to work with someone that is so well decorated and
Thank
celebrated
you.
and accomplished,
Thank you.
I want you to answer this for me because teenagers don't be listening. Don't listen to their parents, and sometimes don't even listen to their regular coach because they think they know everything. Is that normal for you also, or does your accolades and your ability to show them, look, I know what I'm talking about, does that help you deal with them? And do you still come up at times where, dude, you're not listening, you're not doing what I told you to do?
It happens at times. A lot of athletes tend to listen to me because their parents will tell them something, and they're like, "No, I don't listen to you." So the parents was like, "Hey, would you tell my son or my daughter what to do to get faster, what to do to stretch, how to stretch before a race, stretch before a game, what to do. So the kids tend to listen. When they don't listen, it's funny because the program that I have is I teach people how to run fast. I also help kids and adults how to recover. So when they don't listen, a month later it come back, it's like, man, I pulled a hamstring. And I'm like, what did you do? I didn't stretch. Well, now they come back. So I have that ability where I can teach them how to run fast and recover, and basically it works for me both ways. And so after a while, they don't want to come back to see me being injured. They learn how to run proper to stay
I
injury
like
free.
that. I like that. So my mama used to say, my grandmother used to say, a hard head make a soft ass. So I guess
It
that
sure
still
does.
applies. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't listen. Hey, so yeah, yeah. Through
So
college, and I was very much injury free. So I took all those lessons on to being preventative motions on how to run, how to keep myself being injured. Because if you're injured, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to
yeah.
practice. You're not going to fly with a team. You're going to stay home, and scholarship probably get taken away because they pay you so you can go out there and run, not sit on the bench.
Listen, this is kind of my marketing mind working right now, but it seems that with these new specifications from the NCAA and getting rid of redshirting,
Oh yes,
it would seem that more people would want to invest in preventative care, which for me
yes,
is the recover instead of recovery, it should be
Mhm.
preventative and understanding
Yes.
how to keep yourself from getting injured. So I don't know, get to I'm sure there's some high schools, some athletes, some sports parents that might need to hear from you. Look, redshirting don't happen no more. So let's invest in prevention.
Yes. I think they need to teach that a lot more than, like you said, with recovery, because recovery has already happened. So let's stop from happening so that we can teach these kids how to basically wear the proper shoes, how to run properly, how to land on the ground properly, so they don't injure themselves.
Yeah. So flag football is the fastest growing sport in the country right now. Almost 69,000 girls played last season, and it's headed to the Olympics in 2028.
Yes.
Super excited. Everybody is obsessed with speed. We know how important it is, but nobody wants to talk about the thing that actually ends careers, which is recovery. How do you break through to those that didn't think it was important before or still, in their minds feel like it wouldn't happen to them? Like, what's that conversation like?
A lot of kids and even some adults think that too when going into pro sports. They think that, hey, I'm gonna make it to the pros, or they go to the pros and like, hey, I'm gonna play all the way to this end of the season, and not realize that they're training because they're trained so hard, the muscles basically need recovery. They're trained so much that they forget and skip recovery or skip their stretches, like what I do. I teach people how to stretch properly. They think it's a nuisance for training. So I try to let people watch videos of athletes that there's an Olympic video. I'm not sure what year it was, but it was an athlete that was running the Olympics. He ran the 400. It's a very popular video online, and it was like I think it was a 50 meters left to the finish line, and he pulled a hamstring. And his dad got out from the stands and picked him up, and they walked all the way to the finish line. That was his last Olympics, and he was in the lead, but he pulled a muscle. And so a lot of people, even though he made it to the Olympic Games and he was in the race at the Olympic finals, he still got injured. So teaching people how to run properly, people tend to forget that you can get injured. So I come into the part where I teach you how to run properly, what muscles to use, and efficiently run, and like football, track, basketball. We all use those hamstrings and quads and our legs and ankle. It's not always about how to get to the court to the finish line first or how to jump. It's learning how you're going to land, learning how to use your body mechanics. And I think a lot of people tend to forget to teach those basics for athletes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I want to get a little personal with you really quick because you were adopted. You
Hmm.
were adopted from Liberia at 1 week old, the youngest of
Yes,
18, and raised in LA, right? The
correct.
same LA that's hosting the 2028 Olympics where flag
Yes,
football debuts. So this is a full circle moment for you.
yes, it is.
What do you think? Let me ask you this. What do you think the city owes you? And what do you owe? the city?
Wow. Well, first, I am very happy to be here in the United States and coming back to my, as I call it, my hometown, that it was a privilege to be in LA to watch the Olympics. Now, coming back, I feel like in 2028, coming back to this same place where my dream started, I feel like welcoming the entire nation, the entire city, entire country, the world, that hey, this guy from a country that had nothing is coming back to this place where his dream started, and now he's working with athletes, showing people that it can happen, it can be done. I think Los Angeles basically would be real thrilled to see someone that had a dream sitting down in their living room and coming back and working at the Olympics and also being an Olympian, helping other Olympians to basically fulfill their dream.
I actually love that. But one of the things we talked about behind the scenes when I before we started is the other thing you were doing out here in Southern California, because I think that it's important. I think that it's important when we're talking about your brand as a human. You
Uh
know,
huh.
it's the things that you do, the things that you give back to the communities that you've been involved in. So let the people know what else you do outside of sports or how you have impacted Southern California before.
In Los Angeles, I worked in South Los Angeles, where it's like by the corridor of Vermont and Manchester. I work with a lot of foster kids and inner city kids. And my goals were there is that I created a program called Teens No Longer Alone, TNLA. What that program entails is working with foster kids and youth that didn't have any jobs, didn't know how to find a job in their career. And I basically reach out to a lot of communities, organizations, and help kids get jobs. They literally found jobs in South Los Angeles, got hired. I had kids got scholarship to college, as well as in the artwork, because a lot of them got in trouble for graffiti. So I turned that concept of graffiti mindset on other people's property is hey, let's go and make money and career off of this other than you going to jail. So I spent a lot of time talking to kids about their goals and career. Other than sports, I talked about the livelihood. What you gonna do after you turn 18? Are you gonna look for a job? Are you gonna be into sports? Are you gonna have a career, a trade? So those things I try to impact the community besides sports. And I love giving back. So I did that. I also put together a soccer tournament for South LA. I host a volleyball tournament, raise money to give back to local foundations in California and LA as well, Hawthorne area, Gardena. And doing this stuff, it's a joy for me to see these kids literally coming up to me and say, "Hey, thank you for giving me a chance to become someone. Thanks for giving me a chance to go to college. I never knew I was going to be able to either get a job or how to get a job." So it was a blessing, stuff like that to do in the community.
That says a lot about your humanity, which I
Thank
think
you.
is incredibly important. Is that something that I say everybody's, people that have gone through things in life, they're the blessing is a lesson for other people. And your adoption and coming here feels like it eventually became a blessing for other people. Was that kind of what empowered you or made you want to do something for foster youth?
Yes, a lot of it was part of what I grew up and how my mother raised me and other kids and people where um, I feel compassionate to help people. I see where there's an area in need for adults and needs for kids that I will be that individual to help. I don't feel like we should be like the saying, "Let your cup runneth over." I don't feel
Mhm.
like if I have all the resources, it's kept for me. You should basically help others. If you have food, help them. You have a skill to help other people to get better at life, help them, give that to them. I know we didn't mention this, but I also have a foundation which is called the Andrew Reyes Foundation, where I work with people that had cancer. I donate money to a city in Washington. I did a 3-on-3 basketball tournament to raise funds for cancer, Alzheimer's, things for the community. I give back. I don't really push much of it because it's not necessarily there for a show. It's there because I have a passion to give back to adults for a cause, also for kids.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think that's huge. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Um, you do a lot. Like you training kids, starting nonprofits. What do you rest? Do you
Everyone
rest?
tells me that. Everyone asks me that. Do you rest? Yes, I do. I do.
What does rest
Uh,
look like for someone that teaches recovery?
One of my rest time is it's rest to me, not rest to a lot of people. I like to do like research. Sit down, read books, go in and let do research, relax, learn about things, what help people to do better in life. That's my rest time. I love reading. I love doing research. I love looking up things to get better in life. Sitting down watching TV is not really rest for me because even if I sit down and watch TV, I'm still thinking of the next thing, next project.
So intellectual curiosity is your thing.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
That so it makes me think about something. At 35, you were training at altitude, trying to qualify for London, chasing a podium no Liberian had ever reached. Plenty of people would say, that's exactly when you could have just hung it up. So, what were you chasing at 35 that you were not chasing at 25?
um, the goal is to try to make an Olympic team. Not many
Mm-hmm.
people try to make it at in their 30s. So that was a goal and dream. The other part of it was I wanted to people that never was able to see me run at that time, which I have a daughter and she's in Australia. So I wanted her to see me as, hey, my dad's making it to the Olympics again and actually see me run. So it was a goal that I wanted to do. Um, Unfortunately, I didn't make the Olympic team, but through it all, it still kept me fit and kept me going. Some people would decide, well, 35 is I'm old. I don't need to go out there and run anymore. Why am I running? Why am I chasing? So it's not what are you chasing? It's not why you're chasing. It's a desire that you're going to do and get to somewhere. Then 10 years later, after that, I end up breaking the world record for men 45 and older. So it's it's just a goal of me. I want to keep going and doing.
You want to keep going, you want to keep accomplishing, you want to keep reading, researching, finding new stuff to be curious about. Oh my God.
Yes.
Imagine that. We're in a world where people are just mindlessly scrolling forever, and here you are trying to learn something and be somebody. Oh God, I didn't know that was still a thing. Didn't know it was still a thing. But let me talk about these girls some more because I'm so impressed with them. Having the opportunity to talk to some of them, I'm excited for them. But these flag football girls could be Olympians in 2028, and I think that
Yes,
is
exactly.
super exciting. And you've actually stood at an Olympic podium. So when a 16-year-old girl tells you she wants to go to the games, what is the lie that you refuse to tell her, and what is the truth you think nobody else is telling her?
The lie I feel like most people get often is like you're not gonna go. You're a girl. There's not a girl sport. You're not gonna be a professional athlete like guys. Those are all lies. I feel like personally even as a male, I'm telling people and athletes, women or not, don't listen to the lies that you can't do anything. Um, One thing most people don't really realize, and I don't really tell people about, is that most people see, oh, you're an Olympian, you made it to Olympics, you know how to play all sports. I don't know how to play a lot of sports, but I stuck to one and perfected it. And so when people say you're not athletic, you can't make it, prove them, but
Mm,
mainly do it for yourself. Because if you have a goal, do it. The truth about everything is that we are capable to do things. Our mind is so powerful that if we let other people deter our thoughts, we won't be able to do it. Stick to your mindset and do it. I mean, missing the 96 Olympics, I could have sat there and was like, I'll never be an Olympian and quit. But 4 years later, I stuck with it and went with it. So the Olympics is coming up. Flag football, people might feel discouraged. They may get hurt. They may feel like they're not good at it, but stick with it because going to the Olympics, if it was quote unquote easy, everyone would be able to be there. It is a hard road. Not saying you won't get there, but it's hard. And once you get there, being in that stadium at the Olympics, hearing people yelling, saying your name, you can't feel that anywhere else in the world. because all the world's watching, and that's what makes it the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Did y'all hear him? You can do it. Just be consistent and keep going. I like it.
Yeah.
The flag football. Back to you and your specialty. The flag football injury conversation. You know it's coming. Okay,
Yes.
so non-contact sports does not mean no contact, and these kids are cutting and sprinting and splitting, and they're doing all the things with their body. I've watched these girls, and they are just doing all the things. What are coaches getting flat out wrong about keeping young athletes healthy?
Um, I will say, from my perspective, what I see is that they are overworking the athletes and telling them to keep going versus allowing them to rest. That's one. Allowing that athlete to basically go for treatment, pre-treatment. So that means going to the training room, because a lot of people tend to look at training room as, I'm only going to go up there when I'm injured, but that's not the issue. We have the concept like, let's avoid the training room, or let's avoid the athletic trainers because they're only there to treat you when you're injured. No, not at all. It's preventative. So that's why a lot of people don't think of preventative. They think of injury automatically. So I think a lot of coaches need to work on training their athletes on preventative measures before the athlete goes out there and compete. When I was doing the flag football, there were kids that was getting injured based upon they weren't really train how to prevent themselves from being injured. And not many of them basically stretch before their game. And so I'm not their coach. I'm there for recovery, but I see a lot of it happening, you know. And so being out there, not saying anything, it was just so funny because there was a team that never came to my tent, and that whole entire team that never came, they lost. And funny because me and a athletic trainer was like, that team never came to see us. Was like, but you see what happened, and they lost. And after they lost, then they came to recovery. I mean, that's my job to still treat them, but they got injured. They just thought they were all that, but they never came for any treatment. And the team that came for treatment actually won at the championships. And yeah, they came and we took pictures and everything, and I appreciate it. And I think a lot of coaches don't really emphasize on the fact that they need to train their athletes to get treatment.
Mm, yeah, overworking and they
Yes.
don't train them
Bec-
upright.
because a lot of people don't think of, when I say treatment and stuff, is that we move our body in so many ways. Yes, it may be natural, but repetitive motion can also cause injury. So when an athlete, a girl, is running and she's pretty much trying to dodge a person from grabbing the flag, they're moving their body in certain ways. They're moving it in a jerking manner, they're switching their foot, they're moving. Yes, it may be moving in a natural way, but is that muscle being trained to move that way often, or they're just doing it at that moment and later got injured because they haven't got that muscle stretched prior to the game?
And to their credit, I've seen some unnatural movements too, and they seem
Yes.
to work. I
Yes.
was like, what was that? What was that?
Is that
I love it. You
correct?
started the Drew Stretch method. Let's get into this. You started with two clients in Washington. First of all,
Yes.
how did you even get to Washington? We'll get back to that. Um, how did you get to Washington from LA?
um, Interesting. So my mother moved out here, and I used to come out and visit her quite often. So while I was in Los Angeles, which will probably just segue into your question, I was in Los Angeles doing personal training. And while I was training athletes, training regular people, there were a couple clients of mine, we're still friends till today, and one of my clients, and they came in kind of like a fitness room like this, and it's like, Drew, I don't want any workout today. I just need you to stretch me for the hour.
Mm,
And I just sat there and was like, that's it? They're like, yeah. So after a month, I'm, communicate with my mom here and there. And I said, she asked me, how's your day? I was like, all I did was stretch people. We didn't even hit weights or anything. She said, and this is LA. She's like, is that paying your bills or them stretching you? I said, you're stretching them. I said, yeah. She's like, then give your clients what they want.
Mm. Yes, mom. Yes.
And I said, okay. So after a while, I ended up moving to Washington because I visit her quite often. My mom fell twice, once in the snow and once in the bathtub. And so they told me that when I spoke to her and the doctor said, your mom back is very tight and she's injured. She needs stretching. Guess what? Flew down here, took care of my mom, and started the Drew stretch method.
Oh God. What a good
and
son. Oh. So is
and
she better?
basically,
Is she recovered completely?
oh yeah, she is. Oh yeah,
Oh,
she's
and so
recovered.
you're a good son and you're good at what you do. Watch out.
So yeah, so that's how I ended up coming out here and creating the Drew stretch method. And, technically, she was the very first one out here doing it. But yeah, then clients started coming to me and realized that the stretching method was working because of the need from chiropractic and physical therapy that a lot of clients needed to stretch.
Hmm. Tell me this and be
Hmm.
honest.
Hmm.
What did running the Olympics teach you about building a business that even an MBA couldn't teach you?
Hmm. Uh, dedication
Speak on
and
it.
so dedication. I remember one year I was training with my Olympic coach, and I was so tired to go to practice that morning. So I made all the excuses that I can't go. I didn't have gas. My car broke down. Every excuse. And my coach literally said, "No problem. I'll come pick you up." And he picked me up. And it rained one day, and I was felt like it's raining. We can't run in this rain. And coach says, "That what you're gonna do when it's raining at the Olympics? You're gonna just look at the stands like, nope, it's raining." So every excuse that I had, there was an answer for that. So being an Olympian and being an athlete, people come up every day thinking there's excuses and they can't do anything. Those are one instance of being an Olympian that helped me that you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. I still did it. With my business practice, um, very vaguely, because I just have to say that, I created this concept that no one in the world ever has put together and done. And a lot of people always questions like, how can you do this without that? And I said, because I can. It's like no one else does it. And I said, I can. And so there are people out there did a lot of research and realized that I created a concept in the world that no one has done. Because the mindset, if no one else is doing it, I'm still going to do it. I can make that happen. The other part of it is when people have, like I spoke to like Century 21 businesses, offices, a lot of people wake up, go to the business, to their office, and decide to get ready for the workday. But they don't plan their day or don't basically like a lot of no's. So I tell people, as an Olympic athlete, we have months to go to prepare for the Olympics. Every week, every month, we have goals. We set goals. If you at work and set goals as a salesperson, even though those goals may not work, don't quit. Keep going. So as an athlete, I may not win that one race last week, but guess what? I'm gonna sure win the next race. If that person that you have a sales call tells you no, don't give up. Everyone's telling me no. I don't think this is a job for me. You think everybody's gonna say yes to you every time you call? You know, if it is, you won't be the one on being the sales call. Someone else gonna be doing it. So you're gonna have no's. You're gonna have you're gonna have resentment and stuff in life. But being an Olympian, it helped me from my coaching that taught me there are going to be hard times, there are going to be good times, there are going to be bad times, but you're in it to the end. And that's what it was. There's a lot of things that I that try to stop me from going to the Olympics. We ran on the weekends. Sunday was recovery day. A lot of people like to party on a Saturday. I'm done and I'm tired. Oh, you just into sports all day. You just can't party. Well, my goal was to go to the Olympics. And 9 times out of 10, everyone that was training with me on the team that was trying to go to the Olympics never went. They had a different mindset. So in the business world, when you're out there trying to create a business, trying to make a sale, trying to work with other people, you have to work as a team. You can't sit there and learn everything from a, how should I call it, academic standpoint and think that will carry you all the way through. Athleticism helps a lot of people in the business world. If you look at a lot of business owners and businesses, they will literally hire someone that's in an athletic mindset than someone that went to school and got an MBA. Because the drive of an athlete is much stronger and better, not better, but much stronger and more, how should I call it, have more energy than a person that's went to school and has an MBA. Because the drive is different. You're an athlete. You want to get that done, and that's what people look for.
I think that was an amazing answer. I love that. And I absolutely agree. I think
Well,
that,
thank you.
in all honesty, that is the epitome of being an athlete, a real athlete, not someone that's just trying something, but it's a mindset. It's definitely a, I can't quit. I need to find a way to do this. I was telling my daughter, she plays softball and she's been struggling with her batting and she's been down on herself. I said, the real story here is finding where the failure happens and
Mhm.
fixing that. But some people are scared to do that because once you find the problem spot, then you have to work to improve it. We
Yes.
all have issues, and a lot of times people are afraid to identify exactly what the issue is because, well, once you identify the issue, you ain't just gonna leave it there. You're going to fix it. And you have to
Yes.
do the work consistently to fix it if the win is what you're looking for. You
Yes.
can't just leave it there broken. What are we going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What are we doing? So I'm going to give you rapid fire questions really quick. So don't think too hard.
Okay.
First thought is the right answer. Spit it out.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
A sprinter's first 10 meters or flag football's flag football player's first cut. Which one? A sprinter's first 10 meters or
Hmm.
flag football player's first cut?
Flag football players first cut.
Ooh. Most useless exercise everybody still does.
Ha! Squats.
What?
Yes, I was talking to people about that.
Okay, go ahead. You got to expand on that because
I'll explain that.
I got to
Okay.
hear
Let
this.
me tell you why. When I say squat, I meant air squat. So you're in the bench and you're squatting down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're squatting down, you're working your hamstrings, your quads, and your knees.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the primary focus is. What focus that a lot of people miss is your spine. You're damaging your spine, but you're trying to work your quads and your knees. That's the
I
issue.
like that. Okay, okay. I can see that. So, one word for the moment you walked into the Olympic Stadium that first time.
I am.
One word. One
I
word.
am. I.
Time. Time.
It's me. No one else.
I'm
It's
him.
me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm him. That's what I was trying to say was it one word. I'm him.
Time. I love it. Stretch before or after?
Stretch before or after. I would say primarily before.
Good answer. I like that.
Yes.
I know some. I might know some stuff. Okay. Team USA or Liberia in a dream 4 by 100.
Liberia. I'm not
Hey, I ain't even gonna question you on that. So, wow.
Oh
All
gosh.
right. So let the people know
Mhm.
how they can get in touch with you, how they can continue to follow your journey, and do you work with people outside of Washington?
I sure do. I work with people inside of Scottsdale, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Um, there are a few clients in Beverly Hills, California. I have clients in Gardena as well as Calabasas. If you want to look up on the website, it's olympicrecovery.com. One word, olympicrecovery.com. If you want to follow me on social media, which would be Instagram, would be kinesiology RX. And pretty easy to spell kinesiology. If not, it's KINESIOLOGY Y. Then you put RX after that. RX is pretty much stand for prescription. So we give people the prescription of exercise. And kinesiology is a Greek word means study of movement. So we give you the prescription of movement.
I love that. And all of that information will be in the captions, guys. So here is what we learned today. Speed gets the headlines. Longevity wins the long game. And my good friend Andrew here, he spent a year chasing finish lines, and now he teaches people how to keep moving long after the race is over. The flag football wave is here, period. It's not coming, it's here. The Olympics come to LA in 2028, and the athletes who last will be the ones who trained like this. If this moved you at all, do something about it. Subscribe to the channel, get on Control the Narrative Substack, and get a deep dive because there's some things we didn't cover. I'm right about it. I've been all in his business. Okay.
It's good.
And, go follow him at Olympian Drew. Is it Olympian Drew underscore? Say that again.
Oh, this Facebook is Olympian Drew, Oli,
Mm-hmm.
OLY.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram is Kinesiology RX.
Wonderful. I want you guys to train smart, move
Yes.
long, and always control the narrative because if you don't, the streets will, and they always get it wrong. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you soon.